Hey, Shalom, Akim, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shabbat, Shem Rakah, Kodash, double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders of great millstone, salute to the sincere Akim out there of the hopeful elect. All right. Yeah, I was just watching the big controversial documentary on Diddy, based upon Diddy on Netflix. All right, it was produced by 50 Cent. You know, P. Diddy and 50 Cent got the little beef or whatever going on. So 50's gonna do whatever he can do to make, to continue, to make Diddy look bad or worse than he appears to be already. You know the saying, when you kick a man when he's down, all right. After Diddy done went through the whole humiliation ritual with his federal trial, and received his 50 months in prison, 50 Cent released a documentary called Diddy the Reckoning. It's a bit controversial. A lot of people talking about it on social media, all right. From what I've seen on it, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, or as bad as I thought they was going to try to make him out to appear. It ain't like shit that we didn't know already about Diddy, okay? But the main scripture that was coming to mind to me was Matthew 16, chapter and 26 verse, which I'm gonna read. It says, "For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?" All right. And that's for all these sellout niggas, Diddy, all right, 50 Cent included, okay, Jay-Z, all of these big music moguls, these sellouts in the athletic world, these sellouts in Hollywood. Among our people, you got sellouts that are in day-to-day society, man. You got some of our people that have become doctors and big lawyers and what have you, who's down with the boule and belong to some secret fraternal brotherhood. All right. They all sellouts at the end of the day. And it's all for what? Major success in this society, in this world. All right. And in Diddy's case, from what that documentary covered, it really just shows how selfish that nigga is, man. And the main sacrifice that happened, besides Biggie and Tupac, was that stampede that happened in a celebrity basketball concert that he threw in Harlem back in, I think it was 1989. I actually remember that too. In City College in New York, 9 people got trampled to death trying to get into the gymnasium of that celebrity basketball concert. And prior to that, nobody knew who Puff Daddy was, or Diddy. They didn't really know who he was. He was starting out at Uptown Records, and that's pretty much when people became aware of him, when that incident happened, because he was the main one who threw that event. All right, so you can say it was a sacrifice to jumpstart his career or notoriety within the music industry, and then him hanging around the likes of what's the guy named Andre Harrell, and then eventually Clive Davis, who gave him his start, his bad boy startup money through Arista Records. Okay, so the whole point is, nigga sold his soul, man. All right, just like the rest of these celebrities, man. Like I said, 50 Cent is no different. 50 Cent is no different. You can sit there and kick the man while he's down, but at the same time, you are lumped in that same category of sellouts. Okay, that's why the Lord said, I'll read it again, St. Matthew chapter 16 verse 26, "For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" Okay, so these niggas become celebrities, they become idols and icons or what have you, right? And get all of this money and riches. They take it out of the ghetto, okay, and have servants waiting on them hand and feet, eat at the most expensive restaurants, have their pick or their choice litter of whores and sluts that they want to sleep with, and at the end of the day, what's it all worth? What's it all worth? You see the position that the predicament that Diddy is in right now. He's sitting in there in prison, and it ain't no telling if he's gonna get out before the missiles come. All right, he got a 50-month sentence, okay, which is what, 4 years, about 4 years and 2 months. all right, and some time served, and he might get out on early on good behavior, but nonetheless, you know, at any given moment, society could just change, man, at the snap of a finger. You know, Trump might not pardon that nigga in time before the missiles come. Who knows? Okay, but the rest of them niggas, 50 Cent, right? The elites got dirt on that nigga because he sold out. That nigga sold out, and I know he sold out. Okay, it's obvious if you in the know, all right, that 50 Cent sold out, because when his career jumped off, you know, when he came out with that album Get Rich or Die Trying, which was the biggest album in the country, all right, at that time period, it was followed up with a movie. Okay, so he had the biggest record at the time and a movie deal at the same time, you know, which he just skyrocketed to success. You know, he had to do something in order to get, you know, that popular and gain that much notoriety and fame, you know, in that short span of time. Okay, and in that movie Get Rich or Die Trying, he had a jail scene where he was butt naked fighting in the shower. Now you had a insider in Hollywood that tells you that when a black man shows his bare butt cheeks in a movie, that's a tell-all tale sign that he got on that casting couch or did something real illicit and disgusting, mainly homosexually, all right, to propel his you know, his self to success, okay, in Hollywood. So 50 Cent is a sellout as well. That's why the Lord said, you know, what he said, what is a man profited if he shall gain the world and lose his own soul? You know, because we know as Israelites, right? Some of you don't recognize that you're Israelites, but you all know that you're Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, North American Indians in this country. I mean, unless you've been under a rock in the past 30 fucking years, you got to know that you're an Israelite by now. You've heard that you're an Israelite, okay? And especially in the celebrity world, all right? So it is totally against our nature and our morals to engage in homosexual activities, man, or to, you know, murder someone for fame, vainglory, and success. Okay, so you'll sell your soul, you know, just to become rich and famous in this society. All right, go against your natural morals. All right, it says, "Oh, what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?" All right, yeah, what can you give in exchange for your soul, man? Okay, a deal with the devil, all right, for these temporary riches. Okay, sleep with enough whores and sluts and get attached to them until one of them bitches you wind up impregnating, and then some of them you'll marry and they'll fucking divorce you and take more than half of your shit. You know, what's it all worth at the end of the day? What can you give in exchange for your soul? All right, nothing, because your soul really belongs to the Most High, belongs to Yahweh Yahushai. Okay, it doesn't even belong to you. Okay, so when the Most High gets rid of your wretched fucking body, you got to give him back your soul. Okay, you know, so you know that was you know, my take on that. And these celebrity sellouts, man, you know, the Most High is going to judge every last one of them. I'm gonna say shalom, wa barakum to you brothers out there of the hopeful elect. Lord willing, I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.